for 30 minutes. You still have 1:30 seconds. Okay. It's your turn. 3 minutos, por favor.
There are several uses of the word quantum that are not restricted to a subatomic particle moving from one location to another location without going through the space between. That's what a leap is, a quantum leap in quantum physics. But the broader community uses quantum for any phenomenon, any space-time event that exists in one location in space or time and then exists in another location of space and time without going through the intervening space. It's called the discontinuity. And the use I have given it is a very broad use. Of course, Dr. Dawkins rightly claims that it is a metaphorical use, but he should understand that all science is metaphor anyway, to begin with. Nobody's actually, explained how a subatomic particle appears out of a non-empirical realm. And then when it's not being observed or it's not interacting with other particles, how does it go back? So yes, quantum leap has a much broader connotation, including if you watch Star Trek, when the captain says, "Beam me up, Scotty," and Scotty presses a button, and the captain disappears here and shows up there without going through the space in between. So I agree, I've used it metaphorically, but in fact, all science is a metaphor.
Minuto y medio, por favor.
Metaphors are extremely valuable. I use them myself all the time, but a good metaphor is one that clarifies and doesn't obscure.
For you, sir, it confuses you.
Please,
it's not confusing a lot of people out there.
Please.
Perhaps you should catch up.
You talked about the analogy being, in this case, going from one place to another without passing through the intermediates. That's a hell of a leap for you to make. When you talk about the origin of life, there is no such thing as not passing through the intermediate stages. There were intermediate stages. We just don't know what they were at present. That's a very different thing. In the case of gaps in the fossil record, the gaps in the fossil record apply quite simply because not everything fossilizes. It's rather a good thing it doesn't, otherwise we'd be snowed under with fossils. The origin of language, a mysterious and fascinating question. We don't know what the intermediate stages were, but we're absolutely sure there were intermediate stages. There were intermediate stages in all three cases. Now, it is true that in everyday language, in the English language, we do use the phrase quantum leap to mean something rather vague, but we don't bamboozle audiences by deliberately confusing that with a modern physics explanation which everybody, including you and me, finds hard to understand.
Incidentally, because I was coming here and because I've been heavily criticized by the mainstream scientific community for my book Quantum Healing, including by Dr. Dawkins, I just, out of curiosity this morning, went to Google to look at the reviews of Quantum Healing when it first appeared in 1988, and there's a really good review, guys, in the New England Journal of Medicine of that book. Okay, so again, Dr. Dawkins would like to check it out, just like he wants to check out Freeman Dyson, because it doesn't appear with his worldview. I have just had a paper accepted in a journal called Neuroquantology with 2 quantum physicists, including a chaired professor in a university in California. It's going to appear in December 25. I have written papers on quantum consciousness in the Journal of Cosmology, a special edition that was edited by Sir Roger Penrose. So, I am not that loose with my language. I know when I use metaphor, and I know when I use it accurately as well.
Thank you very much, Richard. Thank you very much. Let me just share very few things with you.